Have you ever sat on your porch or in your favorite armchair, watching the world go by, and wondered what it takes to not just live a long life, but a vibrant one? Maybe you've thought about your parents, grandparents, or that sprightly neighbor who's still tending her garden at 95. Well, today, we're going to chat about something fascinating I've learned after digging into the lives of centenarians. Those remarkable folks who've crossed the 100-year mark. And here's what's truly eye-opening. 99% of them share 4 simple habits. Not complicated diets or extreme workouts, but everyday choices that weave into the fabric of their lives. The best part? These aren't secrets locked away in a lab. They're things you and I can start embracing today. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's explore this together. First, let's talk about something you might not expect to be quite this powerful: staying deeply connected to others. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I've got my family. I see my grandkids on holidays. But centenarians take this further. They build communities where they're not just seen, but needed. Take Marta, who lives in a small village in Sardinia, one of the world's blue zones where people live longest. At 102, she still teaches neighbors how to knit, hosts weekly suppers, and listens intently when someone's feeling low. Her secret isn't just having friends, it's about feeling purposefully woven into the lives around her. She once told a researcher, "If I stay home alone, my bones get old. When I'm with others, my soul remembers how to dance." What does this mean for us? It means picking up the phone not just when you're lonely, but when you know someone else might be. It's joining that book club you've been curious about, volunteering at the local library, or even inviting a neighbor over for coffee. Notice how centenarians rarely say, "I'm too old for new friends." They're always expanding their circle, and science backs this up. Strong social ties reduce stress, boost immunity, and even sharpen memory. So, today, why not reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while? Or chat with that friendly cashier at the grocery store. Little connections build a safety net for your heart and your health. Now, let's move to the second habit, moving gently but moving often. I can almost hear some of you sighing. Exercise? At my age? But hold on. This isn't about marathons or lifting weights. Centenarians move in ways that feel like joy, not chores. Think of Hiroshi from Okinawa, who tends his vegetable garden daily. He bends, stretches, and walks barefoot in the soil, calling it his morning conversation with the earth. Or Elena in Greece, who dances to folk music while cooking supper. Their movement is natural, rhythmic, and tied to what they love. The magic here? They never stop. Rain or shine, they find reasons to be on their feet. Maybe it's walking to the mailbox instead of driving, sweeping the porch, or swaying to a favorite song while waiting for the kettle to boil. The key is consistency, not intensity. Research shows that just 15 minutes of gentle movement a day can cut heart disease risk by 20% and add years to your life. So, what's your version of Hiroshi's garden? Maybe it's a short stroll with your dog, stretching during TV commercials, or even rearranging your favorite trinkets on a shelf. The goal is to make motion feel like a gift, not a burden. Listen to your body, start small, and let it become as natural as breathing. You know, as I talk about these habits, I'm reminded of my own granddad. He lived to 98, and every morning he'd putter around his garage, tinkering with tools or humming to the radio. When I asked his secret, he'd wink and say, "Keep your hands busy and your heart open." Simple, right? But that's the beauty of what centenarians teach us. It's not about drastic changes. It's about weaving these threads into your days until there are 2 more habits ahead, and they might surprise you even more. Isn't it something? Just by staying connected and moving with joy, we're already weaving 2 threads of that centenarian tapestry into our own lives. But let's keep going, because the next habit might just change the way you see your plate, your kitchen, and even that afternoon snack. You see, centenarians have a beautiful relationship with food. It's not about rigid diets or counting every calorie. It's about eating like the seasons, simple, fresh, and full of color. Take Rosa, who lives in a mountain village in Costa Rica. At 104, she still cooks every meal from scratch. Her secret: food should taste like the earth and the sun, she says. She fills her plate with what's ripe in her garden: sweet potatoes, black beans, squash, and papayas, and eats slowly, savoring every bite. She doesn't deny herself treats. Her famous cinnamon-spiced plantains are legendary. But they're just that, treats, not everyday staples.
Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I've heard it all before.
Eat your veggies. But here's what makes centenarians different: how they eat. They listen to their bodies. They stop when they're comfortably full, not stuffed. In Okinawa, they call it hara hachibu, eating until you're 80% full. It's not deprivation, it's respect. Your body knows what it needs if you let it whisper instead of shout. Try this tomorrow. Pause halfway through your meal. Take a breath. Ask yourself, am I still hungry, or am I eating just because it's here? That tiny pause can change everything. And here's another gem. Food is shared, not rushed. Meals are moments of connection, a time to laugh, tell stories, and pass the bread basket. Think about it. When was the last time you ate lunch while truly tasting it? Not with the TV on or the newspaper open, but just eating? Centenarians treat meals like little celebrations. Even if they're alone, they set the table, light a candle, and honor the gift of nourishment. It's a ritual of gratitude. So tomorrow, try turning off the distractions for just one meal. Taste the tang of the tomato, the crunch of the lettuce. Food isn't just fuel, it's joy on a plate. Now, let's move to the 4th habit, and this one's close to my heart: living with a gentle sense of purpose. Notice I didn't say chasing big dreams or climbing corporate ladders. Centenarians find meaning in the quiet, steady rhythms of life. They wake up knowing why the day matters. For some, it's tending chickens. For others, it's writing letters to grandchildren, praying for neighbors, or baking bread for the church bazaar. Meet Mr. Henderson from Minnesota, 103 years young. Every morning, he walks to his backyard workshop to repair bicycles for local kids. He doesn't charge a dime. When asked why he still does it, he smiles and says, "Because a child's laugh is the sound of tomorrow." That's purpose. It's not about changing the world, it's about touching the world right in front of you. It's knowing you're needed, that your presence makes a ripple. Maybe your purpose is tending roses that make the block smell like heaven, or recording family stories so they're not forgotten, or even just being the one who always remembers to ask, "How's your sister feeling?" Purpose isn't a job title. It's the whisper in your heart that says, "I'm still here, and I still matter." And science tells us this isn't just poetic, it's powerful. People with a clear sense of purpose live longer, heal faster, and face hardship with remarkable resilience. You know, I think we sometimes underestimate how much wisdom rests in these quieter habits. They're not flashy, but they're profound. Like tending a garden. You plant the seeds, water them faithfully, and one day, you realize you're standing in a forest you grew yourself. So tell me, what's one small thing that makes your heart hum? Is it watching birds at the feeder? Teaching a grandchild to knit? Or maybe just sitting on the porch, feeling the sun on your face? There's purpose in all of it. Honor that. Now, before we wrap up, there's just one more thread to this tapestry, and it's perhaps the most tender of all. But I'll save that for our final chat. For now, I'd love to hear, what's your favorite simple meal that tastes like home? Or what little task gives your day meaning? Share it below. Your story might inspire someone else to find their own gentle purpose.
Isn't it remarkable? We've walked through
4 beautiful habits already. Connecting deeply, moving with joy, eating like the seasons, and living with gentle purpose. Each one feels like a quiet superpower, doesn't it? Simple yet profound. Now, let's come to the final thread in this tapestry of long, vibrant living. The one that truly ties them all together. It's something centenarians carry in their hearts, like an old, well-loved song. Cultivating calm in the storm. Now, life after 60 or 70, 80 or beyond isn't always sunshine, is it? We've all faced storms, aching joints, losses that leave us breathless, days when the world feels too fast or too loud. But centenarians, they've weathered more storms than most. And here's their quiet strength. They've learned to bend like willow branches in the wind, rather than snap like dry twigs. They don't avoid the rain, they learn to dance in it.
Take Grace, who just turned 101 in Vermont. She lost her husband of 65 years a decade ago. When asked how she keeps her spirit bright, she said, "Oh honey, I cry when I need to, but then I look out my window. The chickadees still come to the feeder. The maples still turn gold in October. Life goes on, and so do I." She doesn't fight her grief. She makes space for it, right alongside her gratitude. That's her secret, holding sorrow in one hand and joy in the other. What does cultivating calm look like day to day? It's not about avoiding stress. That's impossible. It's about how you meet it. For many centenarians, it's simple rituals. Morning stillness, 5 minutes just sitting with your tea, feeling your breath, watching the light change. No radio, no lists, just being. Gratitude as a habit, not just on Thanksgiving. Every night, Grace names 3 things she's thankful for: a grandchild's call, the smell of rain, even a good night's sleep. Letting go of what you can't control. That neighbor's noisy dog, the rising cost of butter. Centenarians conserve their energy for what truly matters, like laughing with a friend or planting pansies. You see, science tells us chronic stress ages us faster. It shortens our telomeres, those little caps on our DNA that protect our cells. But calm? It's like a healing balm. It lowers blood pressure, eases inflammation, and even helps our cells repair themselves. And here's the beautiful part. This habit embraces all the others. When you move gently, you release tension. When you share a meal, you nourish your soul. When you live with purpose, you anchor yourself in meaning. And when storms come, you're rooted. So let's gently weave all 5 threads together now. Number 1, stay deeply connected. Your heart stays strong. Number 5, cultivate calm. Your soul stays resilient. They're not chores to check off a list. They're invitations to live fully, tenderly, and with quiet intention. You don't need to master them all tomorrow. Start with one tiny stitch. Call an old friend today. Add an extra vegetable to your supper. Stand at your window and breathe deeply for 2 minutes. That's how tapestries are made. One thread, one choice, one day at a time. Now, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me, which habit feels most like home to you? Or share a story. Who's the wisest, most vibrant older person you've known? Your words might be the very thing that inspires someone else to take that first small step. If this conversation resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up.
It helps others find it too. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel. We share simple, heartfelt talks like this every week, because life after 60 isn't about slowing down. It's about savoring deeply.
From my heart to yours, your age isn't a number, it's a story, and you're still writing it. Here's to making it a beautiful, vibrant, long one. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. Keep weaving your tapestry, and remember, you matter. Today, tomorrow, and all the days to come.